You know that feeling, don't you? When the world gets too loud. And I don't mean the traffic or the construction outside your window. I mean the noise inside. It's a low, constant hum of headlines you wish you hadn't read, a checklist of tasks that never seems to shrink, the weight of 100 silent expectations from others and from yourself. It's a relentless static that crackles between you and your own thoughts. And in that overwhelming noise, your own voice, the one that knows what you truly need, what you truly feel, becomes just a faint whisper, almost impossible to hear. That's when I come here, to the quiet of the garage. My bike is waiting. For a long time, I thought it was an escape route, a way to run from it all. But it's not. It's an anchor, a promise, the promise of a different kind of conversation. As I pull on my helmet, the soft padding muffles the world. The click of the visor locking into place, that isn't a sound of isolation. For me, it's the sound of an invitation. In that small, sacred space, I'm not hiding from the world. I'm finally creating a quiet room to meet myself. This is the first step, because the road has taught me one very important thing. You don't find this kind of silence. You have to build it. And this is how I lay the first stone. You know that feeling, don't you? When the world gets too loud. Not just with the noise of traffic or chatter, but with opinions, expectations, with the endless low hum of shoulds and musts. It builds up inside until your own voice is just a whisper you can barely hear. That's when I come here, to this seat, the turn of a key, a soft click, and then that low, steady rumble. It's not an escape, it's an answer, a single, clear note that begins to cut through the static. The first few kilometers are always a kind of negotiation. The city clings to you, its echoes still rattling around inside your helmet. A fragment of a conversation, a worry about tomorrow, the ghost of a deadline. They all try to ride along, gripping on for dear life. My mind jumps from one to the other, a frantic passenger refusing to settle down. But the road has its own demands. It doesn't argue, it simply asks for your presence. And slowly, you give in. You have to. You start noticing the details. The way the morning light filters through the overpasses, creating a strobing pattern of light and shadow on the asphalt. The vibration of the engine through the handlebars becomes a steady, grounding pulse, a kind of mantra. You feel the lean into the first real curve, a physical conversation between you, the machine, and gravity. You smell it too, the sharp scent of hot tarmac giving way to the sweet, damp smell of earth from a park you're passing. The road taught me one very important thing. To hear yourself, you first have to stop listening to everything else. It doesn't happen all at once. It's a gentle, patient process. With every kilometer, another layer of noise is pulled away by the wind. The frantic thoughts can't keep up with the steady rhythm of the ride. They lose their grip, one by one. And you just ride. Layer by layer, it all falls away. The urgency, the worry, the noise of other people's lives. It's all left behind, scattered on the asphalt like fallen leaves. And all that's left is you and the road ahead. You know that feeling. When you've been riding for a while and the line between your body and the machine begins to blur, it's not something that happens right away. The first few miles are always a bit stiff, a negotiation. My mind is still tangled in the day's worries, my shoulders are tight. But then, somewhere along the way, it clicks. There's a moment of surrender, a quiet exhale you don't even realize you're making. You stop fighting the vibrations and start flowing with them. It's like a dance, a slow, powerful dance, where you and the bike and the road become a single, breathing entity. And that's when the sound changes. The engine's steady hum is no longer just a mechanical noise filling the space inside my helmet. It deepens, settles, and becomes a kind of mantra, a constant, reassuring thrum that vibrates right through the frame, up my spine, and into the very core of my being. It's the heartbeat of this moving meditation. It's so absolute, so present, that it leaves no room for the frantic inner monologue of what ifs and should haves. All that mental static, the endless noise of the world, it just fades. It can't compete with this pure, simple rhythm. The landscape through my visor becomes a living metaphor. I remember cresting a hill and seeing the road unspool before me, cutting a clean, straight line through a vast open field swaying under the sun. It stretched on for miles, disappearing into the hazy blue of the horizon. And in that moment, I understood what it felt like to be free of the little boxes we build for ourselves. That field, it was pure possibility. It was a visual reminder that most of the walls in our lives are imaginary. Out here, there are no ceilings, no tight corners, just an endless expanse of earth and sky. You can finally take a full, deep breath. But then, the road will inevitably change. It will start to curve, to wind its way up a mountain in a tight, twisting serpentine. You lean into the first turn, and for a moment, you can't see what lies ahead. All you have is the patch of asphalt right in front of you. The road taught me one important thing about this. You have to trust the curve. You have to lean into the unknown, believing that the path will be there to meet you. It's a beautiful, humbling lesson in accepting that we don't always need to see the entire journey laid out. Sometimes the most beautiful parts of the path are hidden just around the bend. And through it all, there's the wind. In the Shume Vietra inogda slushish samaya glavne atvieta. Not because it whispers secrets, but because its roar is so honest and relentless. It's a force of pure physics, and it has a purifying effect on the mind. It feels like it's physically stripping away the frivolous, the anxious, the unnecessary. It just scours you clean. It blows away the dusty shell of other people's expectations and your own self-doubt, leaving only the things that have weight, the things that are truly yours. It doesn't give you answers, not really. It just creates the perfect, profound silence in which you can finally hear your own. You know that feeling when you're not just riding, but being led? When the road seems to pull you toward a specific place for reasons you don't yet understand? I felt it then. A gentle insistence, a whisper through the wind. I saw a small turnoff, a dusty shoulder overlooking a valley where there was nothing but the curve of the earth meeting the endless sky. I eased off the throttle, the bike sighing as we slowed, and pulled over. I turned the key. The deep, familiar rumble of the engine, my constant companion, faded away into a soft, metallic click. And in its place came a deafening, no, not silence. That's not the right word. It was a pause. My ears, still ringing with the ghost of the engine's song, slowly adjusted to a new frequency. It was a vacuum at first, a breath held by the world itself. But then, slowly, a symphony began to build. It was so quiet, so delicate, I had to hold my own breath to hear it. The rustle of dry grass, whispering secrets to a breeze I could feel but not hear moments ago. The high, clear call of a single bird, its song a silver thread stitching the vast blue canvas of the sky. Far in the distance, the almost imagined echo of my own journey, a hum but was now part of the landscape. It was in that moment I understood. The world is never truly silent. I had been searching for an absence of sound, trying to turn down a volume that was coming from inside me. The road taught me something important that day. My recipe for silence isn't about finding a place with no sound. It's about finding a place where the inner noise, the worries, the to-do lists, the endless mental chatter finally quiets down. It's about harmony. It's when the cacophony of your own mind subsides enough that you can finally hear the planet's subtle music. I could feel my own heartbeat then. Not frantic, not rushed from the ride, but a steady, calm rhythm. It was beating in time with the sway of the grass, with the patient pulse of the earth beneath my boots. In the roar of the wind, you sometimes hear the most important answers, but the truest peace, that comes when the wind falls silent and you realize you're in perfect tune with everything around you. You know that feeling when you're on the way back and the same road feels completely new? It's because you're not the same person who started the journey. I'm no longer riding away from the noise. I'm riding with the silence I found. The city lights start to bloom on the horizon, and they don't feel like pressure anymore. They're just lights, a quiet constellation calling me home. The road taught me one important thing. The goal isn't to find all the answers, but to find that inner space where you can calmly search for them. Because the real journey doesn't end when you turn off the engine. It continues within. And this silence, this clarity, you can learn to switch it on anytime. In the middle of a traffic jam or while brewing your morning coffee. The quiet hum of the road, it stays with you.